Thank you for your response to our videos on the Cybertruck and the refreshed Model 3. In this video, we bring a side-by-side comparison of the specifications of the three major electric trucks in the US market currently: the Ford F-150 Lightning, the Rivian R1T, and the Cybertruck. We have picked the trims that compare the best with one another, and those are the dual motor variants of each of these trucks. The F-150 dual motor has an option for standard and extended range battery packs, while the dual motor all-wheel drive Rivian R1T can be configured with the standard pack, the large pack, or the max pack with different range numbers. We will be focusing on the F-150 Lightning Lariat trim with the extended range battery pack and the Rivian R1T dual motor trim with the large pack to keep this comparison nearest to the Cybertruck all-wheel drive. This is purely a comparison of specifications and should be seen as such, with our inputs added from time to time. On the face of things, the three trucks represent quite distinct use cases. The F-150 represents the largest cabin and is clearly the conventional truck of choice for most customers here in the US. For its large size, it's amazing how families consider it for daily driving. Quite obviously on the abundant space and its quiet interiors. Not to leave out its utility, power and capacities that have matured meeting the needs of this 4 million vehicle per year US market. The dual motor comes with a differential lock, a mega power front trunk that itself offers 400 pounds of payload and 400 liters of space. All of that topped by the Ford Pro Power onboard system that's capable of powering your home. The Rivian R1T is the result of imagination with adventure. It's the most talked about EV startup and quite unique in its kind, on the footsteps of Tesla. The truck is actually quite small in comparison to the other two, from the cabin to the bed size. But it does deliver some very interesting innovations like the gear tunnel, its deep front trunk, and its extensive software prowess, also on the lines of Tesla. A truck that corrects its suspension with an over-the-air update speaks for itself. It's also a truck that invites admiration on the road for its design and appearance, probably the best of the three. So while it excels on the trails and in difficult terrain, families may also find it a bit too compact and small in comparison to the other two. The R1T has the smallest cab of the three. Its front trunk lacks the low loading height enjoyed by the other two. The Cybertruck, on the other hand, is to many the coolest extension on Tesla's dream run, while to many it's despicable to the core. Amidst this division, it brings some path-breaking technological developments to the auto world. From its 48-volt low-voltage system to its implementation of the steer-by-wire technology and its use of stainless steel in its body on top of an exoskeleton. We have published a number of videos on this recent arrival that you can check the links for in the description. We will examine here the main specs on our standard format. These are primary variables that are important for all electric vehicles. But keeping in mind the design and use case of pickup trucks, we will weigh time and again on certain important factors. All of the specifications we present are as per the OEMs and as stated on their websites, unless otherwise specified. The first variable we will look at is range. Range is important for all vehicles, including gas cars. But with electric vehicles, where charging is far more time consuming, and at this point, when the charging infrastructure is not that commonly available, the demands of a pickup truck are quite ominous. Especially as the truck is required to do so much more in comparison to other cars, like hauling, towing, off-roading, and even working on construction sites. Trucks are often required to do deep charges, which are time consuming for their battery packs, which are naturally large. The R1T has an EPA rated range of 270 to 410 miles based on the battery pack optioned at the time of buying the truck. The large pack we are talking about is slated at 353 miles EPA. The dual motor trim should deliver somewhere around 275 to 280 miles in a 70 miles per hour real world highway range test, with the combined city and highway range slightly higher. The F-150 Lightning has an EPA rated range of 320 miles on the extended range battery pack, which I'm sure it will even beat at times. The Cybertruck dual motor has a stated range of 340 miles, the highest of all the trims here. Worth noting, however, that it's currently being shipped on the all-terrain tires, which are not the best for range, and its immediately evident performance is found wanting. It's also worth noting here that range of all electric vehicles depends on multiple factors and the EPA range can purely be a guidance. It's the ability to charge rapidly is what makes the difference when the car needs energy on long trips. Moreover, range numbers are as per the OEMs conducting their own tests by EPA guidelines and are hence subject to being gamed. Trucks really need deep charging, especially when towing and in cold weather conditions. The F-150 has a small max charge rate, about 170 kilowatts, but does excellent thermal management, maintaining 120 kilowatts to 80%, after which it drops rapidly. The Rivian gets a big peak up front and then gradually recedes. So it's great for road trips where you charge to reach the next destination. But with large payloads and towing, the F-150 seems better for its deep charging capability. The Cybertruck has 250 kilowatts peak, the highest of the three, but that it roughly holds only in the bottom quarter of the pack, after which it drops. That makes it the worst charging and range truck of the three. But that's for now. Tesla may bring it up going forward and we'll see it then. You can check the DC charging comparison of the R1T and the F-150 in our video comparing their charging curves, the link of which is in the description. The size, as I mentioned earlier, is distinctly different in all the three trucks and quite to an extent reflects their real world use. The R1T is 217.1 inches long, 81.8 inches wide, and 78.2 inches tall. By length is the truck with the smallest reach amongst the three. The F-150 is 232.7 inches long, 83.6 inches wide, and 78.3 inches tall. The Cybertruck is 223.7 inches long, 86.6 inches wide, and 70.5 inches tall. Contrary to its perception, the Cybertruck is not as large as it seems when seen alongside the others. The R1T and the F-150 are similarly wide, and the Cybertruck is shorter by over 8 inches to the F-150 and slightly under 8 inches to the R1T. I am sure that will surprise many. It, however, is the widest of the three, and that shows in its imposing steel body. Probably also the reason why most people find it larger than it actually is when seen in isolation. The R1T has a wheelbase of 135.8 inches, the F-150 has 145.5 inches, and the Cybertruck has 149 inches. The Cybertruck also goes with a 17.44 inches of ground clearance, that's 14.9 inches in the R1T and 8.4 inches in the F-150 Lightning. And because we are comparing trucks, the dimensions of the beds are important. The F-150 has a 66 inches long bed against the 72 inches in the Cybertruck and the 54.1 inches in the R1T. All the three trucks have different power outlets in the bed, the cabin and the front trunk, which we will list for your reference. The R1T in its base configuration has a 135 kWh battery pack called the large pack. The F-150 Lightning has the 98 kWh battery pack in the standard range and a larger 131 kWh battery pack in the extended range. We are looking at the extended range. The Cybertruck does not have a formally disclosed pack size, but we anecdotally believe that it's between 123 to 124 kWh. In our video titled Understanding the Range Extender in the Cybertruck, the link for which is in the description, we had shared the EPA documents based on which we made our assumptions. All the pack sizes mentioned here are gross, and the usable values and ratios may differ. All the three trucks you see deliver 0 to 60 miles per hour between 4 to 4.5 seconds. The F-150 being the fastest, fractionally over the Cybertruck at 4 seconds to 4.1 seconds, and the R1T delivers 4.5 seconds to take third place. The R1T delivers 533 horsepower to the F-150's 580 and the Cybertruck's category beating 600 horsepower. The R1T has 62 cubic feet of total cargo space combined within its various storage options. The F-150 has 52.8 cubic feet, while the CyberTruck has 120.9 cubic feet of total cargo. On the hauling, both the R1T and the CyberTruck can tow 11,000 pounds. The F-150 can tow 5,000 to 7,700 pounds. It does, however, offer the optional max tow package for 16,000 plus pounds. The Cybertruck tops on the payload at 2,500 pounds against the 1,384 pounds of the R1T and the 2,235 pounds of the F-150 Lightning. The R1T weighs the heaviest at 7,148 pounds. Our selected trim of the F-150 Lightning weighs 6,361 pounds, while the Cybertruck weighs 6,603 pounds. The Ford F-150 is priced at $69,995 on the Ford website. The R1T costs $73,000 and the Cybertruck dual motor $79,990. All the prices can change with the smallest of options, and with Ford, the dealer markups could add to the actual price. I'm sure you notice how the numbers surprise over the initially held perceptions and give you a better idea of the vehicle, and so we make them the basis of our review and impressions. I think the Cybertruck will enjoy certain advantages, most of it on its design and engineering, which will only get bigger with the passing time. I don't see the competition even trying to emulate the Cybertruck, at least not anytime soon. So once it finds its loyal customers, it will hold on to them for long. On software, it's marvelous, like all Teslas, and that will only become a bigger competitive advantage going forward. Having said that, as on date, which is early in its life cycle, the Cybertruck will confront some notable challenges, particularly in its DC charging with what we have seen so far. It barely holds its peak 250 kilowatts up to 25% of state of charge, and in the only meaningful 100 to 0% 70 miles per hour highway range test, it went battery dead at 254 miles. I am sure these things will improve, but with what we have seen so far, these are meaningful challenges. Contrary to popular belief, I think the Rivian will continue to strengthen its product line and expand upon the niche market that it's already created. As the only software defined truck besides the Cybertruck, and having got there ahead, it will surely remain one good option out there in the market. The challenge with Rivian and any software defined truck is if they hold the typical truck customer's interest, particularly if they don't deliver on the functions that trucks are bought for, or at least not as good as the available legacy or even gas powered options. That will remain to be seen. Exactly where the Ford F-150 Lightning scores. It delivers perfectly as a truck, offering all the things existing truck users look for, on top of the extremely well-built cabin and its powerful drivetrain. The challenges with the F-150 lie more with its legacy sales and production process. That's where inefficiencies could hurt this very good product. So I hope you liked this effort to place the specifications of these three major electric trucks we have in the US market side by side. We also had the Chevy Silverado in mind, in addition to the Hummer EV. But purely on features, we thought that the three we picked for this video offer the best for consumers. We will appreciate your interactions on this video, mainly your comments, suggestions, and corrections where relevant. We think they add value to our viewer community, enhance our channel, and we welcome them wholeheartedly. See you soon in the next one.